Okay, so here we have case study 1, and it says, cystic fibrosis is a progressive genetic disease that causes persistent lung infections and limits the ability to breathe over time. In people with CF, a defective gene causes a thick, sticky buildup of mucus in the lungs, pancreas, and other organs. In the lungs, the mucus clogs the airways and traps bacteria, leading to infections, extensive lung damage, and eventually respiratory failure. In the pancreas, the mucus prevents the release of digestive enzymes that allows the body to break down food and absorb vital nutrients. Cystic fibrosis is a genetic disease. People with CF have inherited 2 copies of the defective cystic fibrosis gene, 1 copy from each parent. Both parents must have at least 1 copy of the defective gene, making the gene for CF autosomal recessive. People with only 1 copy of the defective CF gene are called carriers, but they do not have the disease. Carriers are not affected by cystic fibrosis because of the normal gene compensates for the faulty one. The diagram below is called a pedigree, and it illustrates how genes for diseases like cystic fibrosis can be passed from parent to children. Okay, so you can see here that people with the blue have cystic fibrosis, and it says it's autosomal recessive. So that means that they have 2 recessive genes, or we call it like a lowercase letter. So if the gene had 2 parts, it'd either be 2 bigs, 1 big and 1 little, or little. So these ones are little. These are called carriers, right? Because if they have the big dominant trait, they don't give the disease. But if they have both dominant traits, they don't have the disease. Only if they have both recessive traits. But if 2 people that have these reproduce, you'll get 1 child who has both recessive traits. Okay? And that's the one that's going to have the disease. So these are called carriers. And these will be just non-carriers, non-disease holders.